is just the continuation of the MOTB. So it's not that we don't have our enrichments, we don't have our leisure, our free time. When you have a pet turtle or a pet fish, they tell you to buy enrichments for that fish, meaning buy some things that enrich his experience inside that fucking cage. So we're in this cage called the Matrix, man. Your routine is a cage. The car you drive is a cage. It's a cage on wheels. The apartment, the house you live in is a freaking cage. Okay? The job you work is damn sure a cage. So it's wise to have enrichments. Alright, you may see a movie, you got your shows lined up. That's an enrichment, man. It's a form of escapism, but you know, it keeps you from just a monotony of killer man. A little adventure might hurt, but monotony will kill a man. You see? So as prophets and as Stoics, you know, we find that balance and enriching ourselves while we're waiting on Yahweh Bahashim Hawashai. I'm quite sure soldiers, they have things that when they're back in their on base, you know, they have things to enrich their experiences. They might have a video game or whatever. Things that decompress. Things that allows them to decompress with the point. Yeah, a lot of our that's right, bro. And I had to learn it. A lot of your pleasures, it is really set up by the Most High to keep you from going crazy, man. A lot of your pleasures are set up by the Most High to keep you from going crazy, man. But you know, we're not here to build up our communities, man. You know, we're not here to build up our communities. We're not here to intentionally start families. But the longer we're here, you know, brothers gonna make babies from time to time. You know, that happens. But we're not here to deliberately be fruitful and multiply, just following certain laws outside of the context of the captivity we're in, man. Why would I intentionally have 10 babies that's gonna be born in captivity? That's dumb, man. You know? Okay, I got 3 wives and they all pregnant. That's dumb. But a lot of Israelite camps, they think like that, man. Because they're in the prophecies as to why we're in America, man. And they think that the Lord coming back is just something that's gonna happen at some time. Like eventually, the Lord's gonna come back. No, he's coming back now. Because we're in the wars and rumors of wars, part of prophecy. All right, we're in, most of the prophecies have been fulfilled. It's a matter of World War III, martial law, Jacob's trouble, MOTB. But all those things can happen in a very short period of time, man. You see? All those things can happen in a very short period of time, man. World War III, MOTB, Horizon, all right? And we got to build ourselves up in the faith to where we could withstand those evils that's going to come, all right? Can you imagine not being able to purchase anything? Basically, if you don't have the MOTB, you're kicked off the grid. Just like you go to Whole Foods and they're making more self-checkout lines. Walmart, certain Walmarts are like just mostly self-checkout lines. All right? And you get that MOTB, that's going to plug you back into the city. But if you don't have the MOTB, man, you're basically off the grid. Now, the scripture says the just shall live by his faith, man. You know? So, the point is, man, we got to push. I know I got to do more videos on the MOTB. Because that's the ultimate test. That's the hour of temptation, man. All right? Yeah, your baby mama gonna call you, or the mother of your kids gonna tell you, look, we out of diapers, or baby need food, and hey, what does it say in Micah 7:10? Was that Micah 7:10? And she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her. Who said, where is the Lord thy power? So what scenario are we going to be in to where your woman is going to play Job's wife? Because that's basically what Job's wife said. Curse the Most High and die. So, but Job's situation was like a prelude to our situation. He was plagued with warps and all type of scabs and pain, and his offspring was put to death. His servants, his cattle, they all were put to death. But for us, it'll play out differently. You know, we might go days without eating, you know? Days of just being on the move, or weeks being on the move, months being on the move. So eventually your real might say, hey, look, just take the chip and die. You might have some fucking chronic illness amid all these different things, man. You know, the water, brother. Amid all these different illnesses, you might have some chronic illness, man. I mean, amid all these different circumstances. So your wife might tell you, look, just take the Quran, man, and just live until the missiles come. She should just say something like that, you know? She's like, where's this Yahweh that you keep, where he at? You know? She got a little hair wrap on, but that Keisha inside of her is coming out. And there's so many ways this can play out, man. And we got to pray to Yahweh Bahashmal Shai that we are strong enough to endure to the end. You know? This grace period is for building up our faith. This grace period is a faith period, man. It's a period in which you build up your faith, man. Strive for the truth unto death. You know? And we gotta make sure we don't get caught up in this world, man. So to where our ambition and life force, all right, is transferred to something else. Our ambition and our life force is for the kingdom, man. You know? So we're not occupied in bullshit. Or we're trying to pursue some American dream, man. My personal opinion. You know, if I gotta make a lot of money to talk to a certain type of woman, that's not genuine. Because a lot of times, you know, you make a certain amount of money, you talk to a certain caliber of women, but you know, personally, if you gotta do all these different things, that's not genuine to me. Like you want to be around somebody that has some type of genuine attraction. A man gotta make his money, but you know what I mean? The modern women are getting exposed. They're exposing themselves for making it a financial prerequisite to even talk to them. My take is, man, you can just get an escort. You know? But I know it's kind of like aside from the lesson, but a lot of things are rooted in women, and you know, there's different things, and living a certain life, man. But there's certain people who will treat you like shit unless you had a certain status, or they would ignore you unless you have a certain status. But my take, why would I want to be around those people, man? It's like in your 20s, maybe even high school, there's certain people who they might ignore you, or they might look down on you until, you know, you get better clothes and you play a sport. But it's like, why don't you want to be around those people? It's just the way you treat people in life, regardless of how they look, you know, or regardless of, you know, the scripture says, abhor not a man for his, commend not a man for his beauty, and basically don't look down on a man because of his apparel, man. Because it's easy for the Most High to basically change a man's circumstances. Roughly paraphrasing, but that's in Sirach 11. You know? So why would I want to fit in with a world that obviously treat me like shit, or would treat me like shit, unless I had some type of status? That's that American shit, man. You know? I might have had some type of pride in black culture growing up. Low-key pride. Jake walking down the hall judging each other. Either they looking down on you or you looking down on them. But when you come into this truth, you really become a person, people. Like I said in the movie Anchorman, I'm a person, people. You know, you look into the person. You know, you're really judging the spirit. You're making an assessment of who they are based off the spirit. You know, But the scripture says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world, man. But personally, you know, I'm not going to make an effort to want to fit into a world that basically look at me like I'm virtually invisible until they see I have certain things, man. Like, why would I want to be around those snobs, man? Those people, man. You know? It's like women getting ass jobs and titty jobs and like whatever nigga you trying to attract. If he didn't like your body as it was, why would you even want to talk to that nigga, man? You know? But the only women are just totally delusional, man. They want to have more buzz on social media, whatever the fuck they want to have. It's just weird, man. You gotta love yourself first, man. All right? And loving yourself starts with loving Yahweh Bahashim outside and being obedient to him, man. Scripture says this truth will set you free. The fact that you are an offspring, a descendant of Yahweh Bahashim outside, you're the most popular person on the earth. You're the coolest person in the earth, man. Everybody else is just imitating you. Small hats are imitating you. Small hats are not striving to be Muslims or Ishmael. They're saying they're you. Self-love is mandatory, man. I wish I could prolong this lesson, but I gotta pull up the work. Let me take care of some stuff right quick. You know? But that's pretty much the point. I hope you were edified. So the next time, Shalom. Damn, all this gas is out of service. Let me see. Because if it's all out of service, then I'm just gonna go to work. Yeah, but like the brother said, self-love is mandatory. You know? Self-love is mandatory, man. You know? Because if you love yourself and you keep it real with, you know, your flaws or you know your shortcomings and you are aware of the things you got to work on, all right? You are aware of your strong points, you know? It's hard for the world to manipulate you, man. But hey, with that, hope you were edified. Till the next time. Shalom.